A cross-cultural convergence will take place in the South End on April 29th. The MassQuerade Ball will include everything from Black classical music to Latin dance, fashion, and faces in mask. To tell us about the event are the two co-producers, the artistic director and violist from Castles of Our Skins, Ashley Gordon, and a transmedia artist and designer based in Roxbury, Daniel Cllahan. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I want to start with Ashley Gordon. You have been on before talking about music, but this is music plus so much more. So explain, what's this going to be like?
Well, with everything that Castle of Our Skins does is involved in culture and involved in history, and so this seemed like such a natural project to be able to do something collaborative that would involve arts, that would involve music, that would involve dance, and a whole celebration of communities of color.
Right. Of course, Daniel, you're really the master of the visuals here, and I want to start with your story because what you get into about turning faces into masks or transforming them. Where does that come from?
Yeah, sure. So when I was in California doing music, I was with a group and we wanted to do these mask balls, but we didn't want to do the Victorian thing where people came with masks. So we decided to paint on people's faces and have that be people's masks. And through the course of that, we realized that it was a really powerful experience to do that. And we started to research the roots of that and found that there are indigenous practices of body decoration that are practiced all over the world. When I came back to Boston, I was really kind of missing that community that we had developed out there. So I just decided to do it myself with a few projects. And so that's where kind of the masking started.
Because one important thing to emphasize here, we're not talking about a mask as concealment. We're talking about mask as either expression or exploration.
Absolutely, yeah. When we normally think of mask in our culture, we usually think of something that we put onto the face that hides our identity or protects us in some way. But the masks I like to make are ones that reveal something about someone and try to use paint to bring out the inner essence of somebody.
Ash, when you have the idea going on here, this is not like you're going to have people with masks in one place and the normal people will be someplace else just looking at them. This is, I guess everybody is going to be in on this.
It's 100% participatory. The whole entire concept of this is that it's immersive. So you will literally be engaging and watching people who are masking and being masked. You will be masked yourself. You may even get a chance to mask others as well. So the whole concept is to be fully participatory and immersive.
When you've worked with this before, Daniel, what it is about people when their appearance is changed? You've worked with them, what goes on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very freeing thing. We are so locked into what society has told us we are, whether that's being a man or being a woman or being one race or ethnicity or another. But when we are allowed to transform and change our likeness into something that we create that comes from us, it's very freeing and liberating. And so I think that's something that I'm excited most about this project, and I think that other people will be excited about as well.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of movement going on here too, because you have Latin dance from the Hyde Square Task Force as part of it as well.
Yeah, there'll be a variety of performances. So the schedule of the evening is starting with live masking and moving into cultural performances, fashion design, spoken word, music, as you mentioned as well, performances by Hyde Square Task Force, and ending with a DJ dance party and a whole communion and celebration.
And some capoeira too, right?
And capoeira, there'll be a bunch of things going on. Taiko drumming, yes. The full lineup is on our website.
What is what goes on here? Because I remember going to carnival sometimes in Boston, and what people talk about is not just dressing up and changing their appearance. That when you're moving to music and you're creating a character, it's a whole different dimension that's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, I think of masking as a ritual. I think of it as more than just an art practice, but it's a sacred space that's created when music and art come together and there's this deep appreciation for each other. And I think the important thing about masking is that it acknowledges that we're all works of art in and of ourselves, and that we should be celebrating not only what makes us similar, but what makes us unique.
This is BNN News. We're talking with the co-producers of the MassQuerade Ball, Ashe Gordon and Daniel Cllahan. Ashe, what about the music that you're going to be playing? Talk about that, what you've got lined up.
So Castle of Our Skins, we have a string quartet that will be performing at the ball, and we are going to be doing a movement from Daniel Bernard Romain, who's a Haitian-American violinist, performer, jazz improviser. from his Rosa Parks string quartet.
When you're playing music in this kind of a setting, this kind of a sequence, is there something that you do differently in terms of how you're going to relate to the audience?
I think this kind of opportunity allows me to break down a fourth wall and enjoy the space in a different way than I would in a concert hall, literally because my audience is directly surrounding me. And in this particular performance, I get to live my long-lived goal of having a flash mob type of a performance. So it'll be kind of a pop-up style. So very casual and very engaging and very fun.
Well, all these years you've been playing, chamber and orchestral music, and you play in halls where people just sit there and listen. But if you think of the roots of that music, even European music, a lot of that comes from just dance music that people are supposed to move around to.
Right. So why not embrace that?
Right. And Dana, what about as far as information about getting tickets to this or anything that people should look for if they want to know more details?
Absolutely. At our website, you can get all the ticket information that you need. It's www.massqball.com. You can get tickets through there. You can get tickets through Eventbrite.
And of course, this is going to be at the Via Victoria Performance Space in the South End?
Yes, Center of the Arts. And we're offering a discounted price today and tomorrow for $20 instead of $25. So we're hoping that people will take advantage of that.
Right. Thank you both very much, Daniel Cllahan and Ashe Gordon.